We're back with the bigger picture.
Nanny Diaries Part 2 in 3, 2.
They leave their own children behind to take care of ours. And many of these nannies are forced to pay thousands of dollars to unscrupulous agencies just for the chance to work in this country. Carolyn Jarvis now with Part 2 of her story.
Her name is Antoinette Patalo, and the first thing she'll tell you is that she's here illegally.
No, I am asking for the immigration to consider my paper. Because I have my children to support.
Of course, she didn't do anything wrong in coming here. She had all the proper papers and the promise of work. But when Antoinette landed in Toronto, border officials called her recruiting agency, and her job was gone.
He called again the agency, and this agency bought me a ticket right away, going to the Philippines.
So they wanted to deport you?
Yeah.
And to think this heart-wrenching ordeal cost her thousands.
I paid a lot of money to my agency.
How much money?
3,500 Canadian.
You spent $3,500 to a Burnaby, BC agency to come here for no job?
Recruiting agencies run a tidy business in Canada. Most people don't know they exist, but quietly they slip through loopholes in legislation and charge thousands to vulnerable foreigners like Letty Malagay.
We usually pay the agency fee of $3,500 aside from the ticket of $1,200.
It's estimated most women who come to Canada under the Live-In Caregiver program go through an agency, paying on average $5,000 to $10,000 for a job. What they don't know before arriving is that in half of the country, it's illegal. From Ontario East, there's no law stopping recruiting agencies, except in Nova Scotia, where the law has never been enforced. In the West, it's a little more piecemeal.
I did one investigation where the worker paid $60,000.
Manitoba has taken the most aggressive stance in the country, led by the Director of Employment Standards, Dave Dyson.
Slavery, and it shouldn't happen, not in Canada.
As of a month ago, a new law requires every recruiting agency in the province to be registered.
One of the things that this legislation also does is it eliminates the concept of ghost recruiters, recruiters who are essentially underground.
The legislation goes even further, making families who hire nannies register and allowing a team of investigators to randomly drop by and check in on their working conditions.
We're going to be checking in with every live-in caregiver to ensure the terms and conditions of employment are being adhered to.
In Alberta, our investigation uncovered an archaic loophole whereby recruiting fees are illegal for all employees except domestic workers. We took it to the government that now says the regulations will be changed. Service Alberta Minister Heather Klimchuk.
We are going to be moving in that direction, and we are taking that action. They will not be able to charge fees to nannies or domestic workers.
But do the laws go far enough? In BC, it's illegal for recruiting agencies to charge the worker. But remember Antoinette? She paid an agency in Burnaby for a job that didn't even turn up. So we checked in on a couple of agencies to see what we could find out. There was no one at the listed address for CanPhil Immigration, a company we're told charged $2,500 to a nanny coming here for work.
Oh, hi, it's Carolyn Jarvis calling. I'm trying to reach somebody with CanPhil Immigration. Is this the right number? Oh, it's a restaurant. This isn't CanPhil Immigration? No. Okay.
Their phone numbers didn't check out either.
We're sorry. You have dialed a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service.
Meantime, there was no one at the office of Raponte Immigration Services that we're told charged $3,000 US to a foreign caregiver.
So if I were to come back this afternoon, any likelihood that...
No, I would say no.
But we finally reached someone on the phone who said the fee was for immigration services, a legal practice under BC law.
Are you saying that you did not charge someone $3,000?
Not here in Canada, but since we are a POA license in the Philippines, we're allowed to charge that.
The Philippine consulate told us that doesn't, in fact, make it legal. Still, it's what everyone's doing.
What's the common rate in British Columbia that agencies are charging?
Well, they're different. Like, they're charging, like, the most that I've learned from now is $6,000.
$6,000 is the going rate.
Yeah.
With such patchwork legislation, the women who come here don't know whether in one province recruiting fees are legal and in the next they're not. They just want a job in Canada.
What can we do? This is the program that we have to follow. So we're just hoping that they could do something for us under the LCP.
I think, you know, it's the desperation of the individual. They will do anything to get into the country. Anything.
And until all the provinces catch up and actually enforce their rules, it's likely what's being called indentured servitude will only continue.
Coming up next week on 16 by 9.
For thousands of women, the joy of childbirth means death. It's one of the biggest killers in many third world countries. And Canada is leading the way to change that.
If she had sought care early, she wouldn't have lost the baby. It was too late.
We are at the burial of one of our mothers. She passed away last night. She was giving birth, then she bled to death.
That's coming up next week on 16 by 9.
And that's it for us tonight. If you have a story idea for us, just give us a call at 1-877-TEL-169 or email tips@global16by9.com. And you can also send us a video message. And don't forget, you can blog with us right after the program about any of the stories you saw tonight. I'm Mary Garfello. Thank you for watching. And from all of us here, good night, and we'll see you next week.
Our final word tonight goes to our 16 by 9 viewers.
I watched your show on water and was disappointed as you raised an alarm but did nothing else. You spend more time on electronic email and Twitter than something that we need for life. I personally think that if you are to raise an alarm, put more of a story into it.
16 by 9. The bigger picture. That's a wrap.